Marcus Marshall. I am in Lincoln, Nebraska. So I was 27 when I purchased my first home, but I was also 27 when I purchased my first real estate investment property. It was two different properties.
Okay.
I used my first time homeowners. I lived in that home for about a year. And then that same year, I went in and bought another house. 6 months later, I bought my first real estate investment property.
Okay. And what led you to begin investing in real estate? Like, how did that happen?
As a youth, I would always look at HGTV shows with my grandmother and my mother, and it really grew on me, and I wanted to see what it was about, and it was amazing what you could do with houses. And I got around the right group of people coming out to Nebraska, and got some tips on what to do and how to invest, and I just took a leap of faith, and I bought my first investment property.
How many properties, including your primary home, do you currently own today?
There will be 3 homes that I own currently today.
And can you tell me a little bit more about your first deal as an investor?
First deal as an investor, we went up to, it was about 45 minutes away from where my primary home was. And we got up there, and the guy had owned the house for, I would say, about 30 years. And he was in kind of a bind due to his daughters and I guess his kids' student loans, and he needed to sell it. Well, I believe he still held some type of feeling towards it, because when we got up there, he didn't want to let it go. So he got up from the table, and the loan officer and all the title people were looking at him like he was crazy, because he was about to walk out on the deal. And we kept our composure. I kept my composure. Told the guy to sit down. Asked him what did he need to get the deal done, and we made some arrangements. Arrangements were made, and sat back down. We got the deal done. It was a roller coaster, but we got it done.
Did you have to rehab any of your properties, or are they turnkey?
Most of them are turnkey. Usually what I find is they're already rented out, which is good as well. And that means I don't have to go find a tenant. I don't have to make renovations or anything like that. The last one I did purchase, I still have a lot of work to do in the basement. Right now it's under renovation. We're doing a new bathroom, new carpet, new drywall, everything new. But usually the properties that I look for are turnkey ready and already have a tenant inside them.
And how close do you live to your investment?
I would say about 5 hours away from my properties. No, I go up and see my properties like every, I would say 3 to 6 months, and that's it.
You face any challenges with being 5 hours away?
No, you network and you meet the right people, whether it's HVAC or electricians, people like that, that are willing to do the work, and that way if you need anything, you just give them a call. But not really many challenges at all. Well, I pay somebody, I think they take out 10%. Why let somebody cut into your profit? I mean, I could. It'd be the easy to do, and eliminate the headache. But I mean, why do that? If you can just save that money, you build your connects up and you network, and that way you don't got to worry about paying somebody else. Somebody else is digging in your pocket.
Did you face any challenges with the financing portion? So, for example, with your credit or any down payment or just pre-qualifying, were there any challenges along the way for your very first property?
For my very first one, I wouldn't say it was a challenge at all. You just save up a little bit of money. That way you can make at least a little bit of a down payment. With rental properties, you do have to front 20% with any investment property that you do. I don't see that as a challenge much. You just save up for a couple months, and then depending on the purchase price that you get it for, if you can make the jump, you can make the jump. But no challenges thus far. So
okay.
No credit problems.
Good. And with your first deal, what kind of financing did you use? Was it FHA, conventional?
My first deal I did a conventional loan.
Okay. Was there any reason why you went conventional and not FHA as a first home buyer?
Yeah, first time home buyer. The first time home buyer basically is that why we did. That's why we did conventional more so. Out here, with our market out here, probably was the best way to go with going conventional versus FHA. Um, that's probably, I mean, that was the best bet at the time, so that's what we went conventional here. Average price point of my investments are usually between 80,000 to 100,000. With the moves that we're making in the future, there'll probably be a little bit more than that. We're in better standing. The next 5 years, the goal is to do at least 3 every 2 years. So I would say about 15. I could use my equity and do it like that. That way I don't have to touch no more of my money, and it's still down there to give me a nice chunk of change down there. That's why I want to start here, and then I'll eventually move that way.
How long did you have to save up for your down payment and closing costs on your first?
Usually I try to get the sellers to pay closing, or we'll try to meet them halfway. But usually it takes about 6 months to save up, 4 to 6 months to save up, depending on the price point of the home. And, we'll see if we can meet them halfway with closing and get it done. You're not buying, you're not spending outrageously. You're not eating out, buying things that you don't need. Buying things that you don't want, because you have to be able to separate your needs from wants. So you're just getting everything that you need more so than your wants, your basic necessities that you'll need, and go about your everyday life. And then that's probably the major sacrifice I've made at the penny pinch, stuff like that, and it's not eating out. And that's about it.
What advice would you give potential first-time home buyers who have no clue where to start?
Okay, I would say first do your research, know what you're getting yourself into before you purchase a home. Get with a good loan officer, a good realtor. That way they can walk you through the process of finding which will meet your needs, whether it's just for yourself if you're single, or for your family as well. And once you do that, I would say just take the jump. Take the jump. Don't be scared. Um, I would say it's better to make yourself rich than someone else by renting. So I would say just take the jump. Save as much as possible. Okay, don't go out to the clubs. Don't go out spending champagne, buying champagne and stuff like that. Just save as much as you can. Whether you're setting goals every month, every week. What I do is I usually set a goal every week, and I give myself a price point to. If I'm buying Starbucks, it's only going to be $20 a week. That way you're not spending outrageously again. So I would say save. That's going to be the biggest challenge that people face today, is saving what they need to come up with the down payment. And you always have other sources of income that you can use. Some people you can use to make a down payment. You can take from your 401k, or if you have mutual funds or IRA, you can do different things if you don't have the money in your checking account. Say do your research. Your research is huge. And then walk through the house. Make sure you're not buying money pits. Make sure that your return on investment is where you want it to be. But even with that said, some people you can start small and then grow big. So even on your first time investment, it might not be enough profit, but it's enough to get education off. It's something to learn from, which is valuable. So I would say do a lot of your research. Surround yourself with other investors, and that way you can pick their brain when you have questions about a certain property. And save. And then I would say take the jump, make a jump, and take a leap of faith and let your eagle wings spread. And don't be scared. Don't be scared of the price point. Um, things like that get investors far. You know, I think the biggest fear is the price point of the home. Another fear could be interest rate. People that buy homes, they don't want to pay for the home twice. And I think that's a big fear, a huge fear for a lot of homeowners nowadays, where banks drive up the interest rate, meaning if the home isn't paid for in 30 years, that they'll be paying double for the home. So I think that's the biggest misconception that's going around today, especially with millennials. They don't want to pay for the home twice, and the price point scares them away, and the job market can scare them. So I think those would probably be the biggest misconceptions about a home today. As a homeowner, rushing into a deal isn't good. Because and then not shopping around for interest rates is a huge one as well. I think we got a high interest rate. It was in the fives. It was like 5.25, and I'm like, oh, you're crazy. So that was the first one. We didn't go. We didn't end up going with it, but we were rushing into it where they could have been costly. It could have been costly because we would have been paying interest versus paying off the principal. And as an investor, biggest mistake was trusting in some people. You want to still put your trust in people, but you got to understand, as an investor, people won't treat your property the way you'll treat them. So trusting them with like belongings and things like that of that nature, or leaving them back in. I left some of my belongings at one of my properties, and one of my tenants stole something. So just trying to put your trust in people, but you gotta understand that all people can't be trusted. So that was a couple of my mistakes as a homeowner and then also investor. You learn from it, you grow from it, and you know what not to do the next time around. So
what would your dream investment deal be?
my dream investment deal is owning a property in San Juan, Puerto Rico. That's probably gonna be the next move after we're working on a apartment building right now. But after the apartment building, I think we're gonna aim at getting a house in San Juan, and that way we can just get away and be able to reset and have fun on the beach and relax more. So for homeowners, just do your research and don't rush into any of your deals. Make sure you get you a realtor that you can trust and that can walk you around and show you different properties that are there for you and not just there for a sale. All right. For investors, I would say take the jump. If you want to get into real estate and put not just yourself, but also your family in a better spot or a better financial situation, take the jump. It's not quick cash. It's not quick cash at all. But if you want to feed your children, but also their children in the long run, you always got to see the bigger opportunity that awaits to invest. So I would say take the jump and don't be scared of price points, and just have fun and enjoy the process. You got to trust the process, but you also want to enjoy it as well. So have fun while you do it. And depending on the person, you can do it by yourself. If you do it by yourself, sometimes it might take longer if you're an investor. And if you did it with a team, it might be quicker. But make sure you have everything arranged. Start up a limited liability company. Get you a great law firm that represents you, and just take a leap of faith and let your eagle wings spread.
And speaking of limited liability, so are you an LLC?
Yes, I am an LLC.
All right. Well,
yes, ma'am.